sit for a second because that way I know I can take this time. I'm gonna do the new thing too. That should be
the spike it in the
yeah the spike.
Okay.
All right.
Word.
Okay. Thank you everyone. Coming. Hold on. I gotta start over. Hold on. See, I get nervous too. Hold on. All right. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Just Boolin'. Today we are joined by the lovely ManicPenguin. Say hello.
Hello.
And as always, Sketchers here. This episode is all about space and aliens. This is also the episode we like to formally make the announcement that this podcast is going to lean more towards the sci-fi and fantasy elements of the universe. With everything else is going on with movies and games and all the stuff like that, we'll talk about the stuff that kind of falls in those realms. But I think that's what we're gonna stick to. Starting with semi-real science fiction, semi-fake. And we're gonna get into the discussion of the real and the fake, but we're gonna start with a movie that we all went and saw on Thursday. Yep. Alien Romulus. Everybody, I think I'm gonna say Sketch gave his score out on the ride back. He gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yep. That was correct for me. I looking back at it, I would say I would give it even better. I would give it 7.5.
Oh, man, after you let it marinate, huh?
Yeah. Because they really did. And it's purely down to they're doing something that nobody else is doing, really. They really honed in on the aesthetics. They definitely made some missteps during the movie. There were definitely some ways they went off the rails, but they really honed in on the aesthetics. They linked this movie to everything else, and they made it seem like a part of the universe.
And left it to a point that we're waiting to see what else is going to happen. Like I can't wait.
Despite some of the dumb mistakes and the dumb like tropes and things like that, I'm actually really like jazzed to see where this is gonna go. It was well done overall.
Okay. Penguin. Oh, for just a disclaimer, Penguin is a avid moviegoer. She will stop whatever she's doing. Any plans can be broken if it involves popcorn and a slushie. So
those on the podcast know saying is nice. I'm not. She's a fucking nerd. She's a fucking movie nerd.
She's a fucking movie nerd.
Like I am. It's true.
As Rachel,
we're nerds and all kinds of stuff. If it's on the big screen, like she's the Cole Kidman in that AMC. You know, this is what dreams are made of movie. She recites it verbatim every time in the movies.
What's that shit Rachel Zegler said about the Prince and Snow White? Weird. Like, yeah.
So we will on this podcast and in real life we will respect her ratings on movies because she knows trash when she sees it. And I want to say you said 7 out of 10 for it too. You had some time to marinate on Alien. What would you give it overall?
I would still I maintain my solid 7s on that one. It was really well done. The story kept us guessing. It wasn't too predictable. Most movies are somewhat predictable, but this one was more on the side of not predictable. And the jump scares got me, and that never happens. So
they got me too. I was at that theater shaking. I ain't gonna lie, man. That was some. I mean, there was some times that you knew what was coming. Oh, real quick, I'll say about the same. I'll give it about a 7. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10 because earlier in the day, I had watched it with our son, the very first one. So I went into Alien Romulus fresh, like Nostromo just got destroyed. Ripley, she's still floating through space, and these people just showed up and they're going through it, and it looked just like the same. Obviously, more polished. Okay, everything about this movie was amazing except for the CGI on the android Rook.
Yeah,
like it was almost to that point they could have picked. They could have just made a different android and had the Rook guy talk on behind or something.
Or y'all could have done practical effects for that bit and just made Ian Holm. Like, no bullshit. Y'all could have just done that.
They've done it with Bruce Willis. They
Yeah.
did it. They did it with Will Smith. All these they go back.
Hell,
All these
they
people.
did it. They did it with the alien dude in Alien Resurrection, or Alien Resurrection.
But out of everything, when everything that was happening, and there's aliens in the movie, the most unrealistic thing in the world was that cyborg's face.
That's wild.
I agree with that.
I think as good as it was, and as many people as it went through and saw it, we weren't the only people saying, "Oh, that face could have been a little bit better."
Oh,
because y'all they did that damn thing on the ship. Who knows how much time it took to make all that debris in the damn rings of that planet, but that face looked like ass.
At least 2 months.
So
as someone who went to animation school, at least 2 months of work, of hard work, of at least 13, 14 people.
So everybody fucking working hard, and somebody woke up the morning of release day and threw that face on and said he done. That's what happened. I think so. Overall, I think Aliens as a whole, being a thing that's out there in the world and space and all of that or whatever, that's going to lead us into one of the two questions that we have, and that will be: do we believe in aliens?
I'm gonna let y'all answer that one first.
Penguin,
I'm gonna go. That's an easy answer for me. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, without a doubt. Yes.
I'm going to say yes as well. I feel like it will be ignorant to assume that we are the only intelligent life. I'm not even talking about life enough to sit there and wonder if there's something else out there. I'm talking about we can't be the only living organisms in the universe. And I'm not talking about this algae and fucking bacteria bullshit they say they find on comets. I'm talking about real life. Animals that don't
Sentient
have sentient things.
life.
Yeah, sapient life. Things that are out there living without cars and buildings and whatever. Giant overgrown animals and shit.
You have to think of all those records, the sealed records that they just released a couple years ago from Area 51 and all that. That was sealed by the government.
That's right. I forgot everywhere Naruto ran out there and released that info for us.
Yeah. I'm of the same persuasion as Satan is. I think it's dumb to sit there and assume we're the only ones out there. It's down to like whether it's the dark forest, whether it's a great filter, but we can't be the only thing out there.
That said, I'm glad you mentioned dark forest. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. So I got a few slides. The first one, before we even get to space, since we doing the thing where we agree that there's things out there. Yeah, that in my research for space and space facts, I also stumbled across a group of people who don't believe that space is real at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
None of space is real. All of that stuff is beneath the surface. All of that stuff is where you can't see, where we can't see. And so, what do y'all think about that? I can throw my
opinion on that. That's a hard no for me. We have too much science backing up the fact that the core temperature of the Earth is too high to have any kind of inhabitants. Everything is liquid, molten, rock, even.
I am of a mixed belief on this. I don't believe there are any fucking I definitely don't believe like that it's just inside, like space is actually inside. But I do believe I do believe that there might be pockets inside, like not obviously like deep, like to the Earth's core, but deep enough down where like modern technology and stuff like that of the time couldn't find it. pockets of like maybe civilization. Like they found like sinkholes and big ass caves in China and shit like that where they have like whole ass ecosystems and atmospheres. It's not hard to think that there might be,
Oh, I
three
remember
to
waterfalls. They got
yep.
animals that have learned to survive without actual sunlight and shit
They
like
have
that.
well, not even that. They have species down there that are completely cut off from what we have. Like completely different species and shit like that. So it's easy to believe that, just a little bit deeper, there might be, like a pocket or something. Not saying that they're all over the world, not saying there are too many of them, but it's possible. But
Have
as
you
far
seen
as
I
any
think
of the
as
newer?
far
Go ahead, Penguin.
as far as that goes, nah, that's a hard no for me. I don't believe in like the Kong world and shit like that.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. Penguin, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say that I was watching a documentary and basically almost what Sketch said, but underwater. So they found what looked like possible like docking stations essentially for like a spacecraft, but like
Mm.
so far down below the ocean's surface that mankind can't reach it. So if you were going to be from outer space, what's the best place to hide your craft? It's going to be some place that humans can't actually find it, and that's underwater. So that I would believe.
I'm a firm
This
believer that's all kinds of stuff underneath that Marianas Trench, and not just Megalodon.
this ties into a theory I heard a couple of years ago about all the things that we see, like all across the world. There's evidence of people like seeing, encountering what we know as space people from the sky, right? What if we're interpreting, like visually interpreting all these things differently? What if those people are underwater?
I would
All the
still
people that
say they're aliens.
all the people that they say that they've seen, the space people they've seen, are actually
Underwater, what they're
underwater civilizations that have come
what,
to the shore.
or have come up from below.
It not outside the realm of possibilities.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, there are stories of the I think the oldest story of Atlantis, um, that we know of, comes from other ancient history before it.
and Atlantis in itself, with everything that we found, just like Penguin said, all the stuff that we've ever found underneath water, like it's hard to disbelieve Atlantis as something that is just in the storybooks. I mean, I'm on more suggestion that it was higher than it was, and now it's lower, but still, like there's
Yeah, they've
levels to these things that like it had to. Some of it had to be out of the ground, underwater, is what I'm saying.
I
It wasn't
forget where it
all.
is. Now that you brought it up, I forget where it is. I have to go looking for it. Remind me about it. But within the last like month or so, this came up again. They recently, within the last year or so, found some place where they think the actual like Atlantis could have been, or at least part of it.
Mhm.
Um, oh my god, because I can see the fucking snapshot they took of it, and it's like almost like a semicircle, and it's completely barren now, but you can see some of the ruins and stuff like that. There, I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, people were starting to come around because like back when we were coming up, it was always a dream. Oh, it's a fantasy or whatever. And then now people are seriously like considering the scientific evidence. Like, yeah, motherfucker. Also, the Amazon was man-made. Woo! Like, yeah, aliens. I totally believe that shit.
Uh, that was my next question. This slide represents the idea and the thought that there are aliens out there, and while we aren't at a place or technology, we're not at a place in technology. Because that's basically what it is to go out and venture and see these things. That there may, in fact, be different places in the universe where species meet up. But one of the things that we can know for sure, what people assume for sure, is that we suspect there's life on other planets. For example, Sketch brought this up, and I also saw this as well. And but Penguin, I'm not sure if you know this, but they found lights and in the shape of this shape on a planet.
I was not aware of that, but I'll be doing some research after this episode.
Yeah, she is a fact checker. So, but no, they're saying that that's just a set of lights, on this planet. But I feel like while we say we have like all these powerful telescopes or whatever, there's nothing in the world or nothing on a planet I feel like can be made to see as far as the universe is. And if we're looking at it from our point of view, it's skewed anyway.
Yeah.
So it's easy to say we all rightfully so believe in the existence of extraterrestrial life. Can't edit that out. But and so that said, since we can't confirm that, I went and found a bunch of cool ass space facts. This is higher than I expected to, but Sketch mentioned this earlier, the dark force theory. The fact that while there may be civilizations out there that can space travel and can do whatever, they hide the fact that they can because there's something bigger out there waiting for something to just come up on their radar to destroy. What you guys' thoughts on that? Evil aliens out there?
I've never thought of it like that before, but you've heard me say many times that there are some people who I'll be willing to bet money that they are aliens because they just don't fit right in their skin. You know the type. They say things that are just off. They don't quite understand how humor works. Nothing really translates, and they're 100% alien to me, at least. But I'd be willing to bet the money.
No, I agree. We all, Zuckerberg, he's the one that's probably making it hard for everybody because
bro, that dude is 100% lizard.
They're looking at him, under a microscope. But I do
brother,
feel
chill. You are scaring the hose.
that we have all met and dealt with someone that was completely off.
Brother, you're scaring the humans. Chill.
The humans. Yeah. So this is one that I just basically this is what made me think about.
I know about this one.
Okay. That our version or our outlook on the universe is completely different from anyone else looking because we're looking at it from a single point. Yeah, we've sent some probes out and stuff like that, but they're still not looking at it. And probably, to be perfectly honest, because I feel like if you're doing faster than light travel, we're not even looking on the same dimension as other people.
I can't remember. Did they disprove this?
I'm not sure. These are things that I wanted to generate a little conversation, and if anyone sees, they can fact check us and say y'all were wrong. This was wrong.
No, they didn't disprove this yet. Okay, just making sure.
But yeah, this is again, we got all the stuff in our atmosphere, all the stuff that we can't see, we can't grab, we can't touch, and so how do we know what we're seeing is what we see or what's missing? This.
Now that
span accelerate pushes guys apart. We hear all the time about galaxies and everything like that. Just things expanding, things being in places they shouldn't be.
See this right here.
Space is scary.
This right here interests me the most because this is the thing that separates us from sci-fi universes and things like that. The fact that we don't know that one fundamental thing that is pushing the universe against itself and expanding it, right? In Warhammer, it's the warp. In the Harry Potter universe, it's magic. In the JoJo's universe, it's sunlight mixed with will.
Come on.
Yep. And the fact that this thing is scientific and that people can or are trying to observe it and noticing its either presence or absence and being able to measure it, that's crazy to me. It's just,
and that's another thing. How good are our measurements? I heard this thing that said faster than light travel, we can get to the moon in 8 minutes, the sun in a month. The edge of the universe in 90 million years. Like, I'm like, so how's any of this stuff trackable when one, the universe is constantly changing?
That's fucking math, man. That's where you start to realize science is literally just the knowledge that we have up to this point. And like certain things are set in stone, certain things are not. Did you by any chance get to grab anything on the Great Filter?
I might have that out there. I got a few slides I haven't clicked on yet. We on slide 10. There's 8 left. May I have seen the filter, but the filter seemed more in line as well with the debris surrounding us. So I felt like it's along the same vein.
Fair.
I got a quick question for you both.
Mhm.
So we know, in a sense, space travel is going to be somewhat something. We may not necessarily be around for it at the rate that we doing things. Seeing how instead of building certain things, people making things like the Cybertruck. But when it if aliens showed up, we didn't completely fuck it up and try to blow them out of the sky. We had a harmonious relationship with us. They gave us that technology because they needed something for us, but not enough to destroy our planet. They could get exactly what they need. We didn't even know we had it on the planet, so it ain't hurting us to let them have it. It don't. And then they teach us how to space travel. Would you do it safely? It's safe. It's safe. Like, this is like 2, 4 or 5 years after they've been on Earth. People have come and gone. It's safe. Would you guys leave the planet at this sport universe?
Would we leave the planet? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gone.
Okay.
I'm packing right now, actually.
It honestly depends on what kind of universe we're looking at. I'm gonna be real with you. Or what kind of aliens are out there. I'm a pessimist in this just because of the way sea creatures and other creatures operate whenever they see something new. Um, I'm not completely convinced that that anything that happens upon us won't just do what it wants to do, and it won't take a bit of growing pains for us to come together to some sort of agreement. I will say if this is an eventuality, then yeah, I would just like to be born like at least 200 years after the first contact event, so we can get any kind of wars or anything like that out of the way.
I would be putting myself in the Columbus mentality. The world was uncharted when Columbus set sail and he was going to find out what was out there. That would be me. We don't know what's out there. We don't have any maps of the stars. I'm going to go and make a map. Goodbye.
So
I love to explore.
I've been watching. Well, not watching. I've been playing a lot of the forward. So, like, in my mind, I'm thinking about it. A ship that has a hydro farm built in. A ship that has this. That. I mean, we'll have to eat. We watch Penguin and I. We watched the 100 a while back, and they were eating algae for a year.
Oh, word, yeah.
Like, just stuff like that. Like, as long as starvation and all that stuff was out of the question, like, I think in a heartbeat, I too would get on whatever spacecraft I can. Obviously, with the understanding that I can control most of the destination. I don't want to just be riding.
Right.
Right.
But
there would be
said,
some extraordinary assumptions made.
Yeah, we're all together. We all got a ragtag.
We've got food.
Crew.
We've got water. We've got a working, vessel.
Yeah. So I think that's good to know. So
no, we're gonna blast off like motherfucking Gene Starwind.
Yeah, one
and Jim
day
Hawkins from Outlaw Star.
we oh my God, I love it. We come across a spaceship underneath a tarp somewhere. Okay, I know I need to call. I'll let you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
This one's easy. Oh, I put this one in for you, Sketch, and I know you don't know why. You know why, but that in itself, in the universe, at least the observable universe that we as humans can see, and again I say that because we know that there are animals on the planet that can see more colors than we can see. So how do we know that those missing those color spectrums, we're not seeing the warp out there?
Bro.
I'm just saying. We're not seeing portals. We're not seeing whatever. And people who can see ghosts are the people who can see those different color spectrums. I'm just saying. That's just things to think about. Anyway, long story short. But in the universe itself, this is happening. Stars are exploding. We don't know why. Things are disappearing. We don't know why. So this also leads me to another quick question. How do you honestly and truly believe the world as a whole, and just get past Americans shoot first, later. Would we honestly believe in the sketch? You mentioned it earlier. You feel like if they come to us, then we're already done. They came to take whatever they're gonna take, and the fact that they came here and we can't leave.
I think it would turn into a first contact scenario. We would probably have a bit of depending on how belligerent they are, we would probably have a bit of a skirmish. It might turn to a small war. We'd eventually hash it out, and then we start relations. Just because humans as a whole are very warlike, just on the regular. And if they come to any of the superpowers, or if the superpowers get a hold or get a whiff of, first contact, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Have you ever seen the movie Arrival? Where the
Oh,
pods
nah.
show up in like 12 different places in the world and they just exist. They're these huge structures and they open every 18 hours and there's only one entrance, one way in, one way out, and then there's these creatures inside. And the entire purpose of them, well, of course, the humans, they start, trying to shoot at the things and trying to bomb it, but then they're like, okay, let's try something different. And then they start sending in teams of basically language experts trying to communicate with the creatures inside. And so hopefully if that's something that ever does come down to, that would be how I would hope that things would go, that it would be a communication. It would be a communication driven.
In that movie, they did successfully teach them their our language and learn their language.
Yeah. I'm not buying that. I love that, but I would also love for the zombie apocalypse to be Walking Dead, but I just know that's not going to happen. We're not.
No, we're gonna have fast zombies, or we're gonna have mutant zombies that can spit acid or some shit.
Yeah, we're gonna have mutating running zombies, and we're gonna have fucking face eating aliens most likely, or they'll be like the ones from what are the white spikes from? Is that was it? No, it's not Edgerton. What is that?
You talking about whites?
The white spikes
from Game of Thrones.
No.
Just the dead ones.
No, aliens. These are aliens from a recent sci-fi movie. I didn't watch it, but I did see the
white spikes.
Yeah.
The Tomorrow War.
That's the one.
Oh, they gotta come.
Those things were terrifying.
Yes.
They're coming out with a part 2 of that. Okay. Ooh, yeah, man, we done. That's a hide and be quiet game right there.
Yeah,
I forgot what they look like, but
what I'm saying. Basically, what I'm saying is, I would love for it to be like Arrival, or even like what is it? I would love for it to be like fucking Signs, but one of the two, it's either going to end up like the Tomorrow War, or it's going to end up like Oblivion, where it was just over before it began. Which, with the way AI is going,
we watched something recently, Invasion. It in itself.
Oh, bro,
we don't want those type of aliens either. Like I think any of the aliens that come with any kind of malice, it's already over.
Yeah,
one, they probably already been here and they already know our weaknesses or whatever. So, like you said, it is going to be over. They're going to have something that can hunt her. And if they white spikes,
Also, you got to think, not to be a doomer, but you got to think about this too. When we think about space travel, we think about just getting up there into the wild blue, right? Any alien that comes to Earth with space travel is equipped to traverse the stellar volumes at any capacity. They're prepared to jump to a world where it has a high gravity volume, low gravity volume, different kinds of weather conditions, like possibly
Yeah, but
hostile life
I think
forms.
also one of the
They're going to be
aspects of Earth that might draw them would be just us in general, because humans are very different. We're all different. So maybe they want to learn something or
not terribly.
experience humanity. Sometimes
I think
maybe
I
that's
do think that aliens vacation here.
get away from the war-torn countries. Go to
Yeah, they
Florida.
they pop in.
Get a job.
Yeah, they come
Come to
in
this
and
little
see, live. They come and live on Earth, work for a little bit, go home, tell their
come to a little
friends.
backwater planet. It's like a vacation in Cancun.
Hey, look, man, we might be a nice tourist destination. Okay, here we
Ooh,
go.
the boots void.
Stuff like this.
Yeah, that shit is
Why?
scary.
Even the stuff that we can see, we're looking out in the universe and we see a spot that's completely black. Why? When there's so much burning things in the universe, completely dark. Why? Oh man,
That's a Necron Tomb World. The Great
this is another.
Attractor. Ooh.
With serious force in space, dragging entire galaxies, including ours, towards it. I should have been reading these for the audio listeners, but I assumed the audio
No, we didn't.
listeners went to whatever their respective thing is, and it said video because all of the platforms allow video. And they watched, so if you got to this point and you're still listening, you're like, "Damn, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm still listening though," but it's because we got video. There's pictures. There's pictures too.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Next time I'll remember.
I will see if I can go on. I'm gonna probably record a short disclaimer at the beginning and let them know.
Yeah.
Let's
the
see.
Kessler syndrome. What is this one? The space junk crashing into
This.
More space junk could trap us on Earth forever, making future space travel impossible. This
just debris, all of the. So people are saying the debris that's up there, all of the satellites, that stuff that's breaking off that we don't know about. There's pockets of there's satellites that just disappeared. No one knows where they went. They're talking about those are just gonna show back up and and be there floating, and then we're not gonna be able to leave because we're gonna be a trash planet.
What's crazy is I think this particular idea is uniquely something that came pre-2000s out of that future retro mentality, because all concepts of like all imaginings of like being in space and things like that, we imagine those like Warhammer style like orbital platforms filled with like manufactorums and stuff like that, and just like rusty space stations where miserable workers are just kind of like getting about their daily lives and things like that. I don't think we really have to worry about that in the modern day. We're not rushing to put things into space as much. We're much more careful about it for political and for like structural reasons.
So you're thinking that's 200 years in the future, that might be a problem, but not now.
Well, not even
I think
so much
even
like
further than that. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I think because of the way design has evolved in the modern day, I don't think this is as much of a problem.
Yeah.
I think that for space junk to be affecting us, it would have had to come from somewhere else, because in space things, they just go. So if they're launched, in space, they're just projected and they just keep going in whatever direction they're projected in.
You're right. Y'all right. Y'all right. This probably come from a notion where people didn't know too much about anything, so it was easy to
Yeah.
say
I'd say
the
like
more
80s,
satellites we put
90s.
up there, they're just gonna float around, or they're gonna just, or those satellites just gonna randomly fall on your grandma.
That's why I was thinking like 80s, 90s, like back when we were still thinking of that, like a blinking
Oh,
star.
yeah, this is the one too. We have things out there in the universe that we observe that just disappear. Blinking star disappeared for months and came back. I'll read this one. A star known as VVV Wit 08 blinked out of existence for a few months, blocked by something massive and unknown, then reappeared, leaving scientists baffled. So, a star destroyer flew in front of this star and blinked it out so the telescopes couldn't see it, and now it came back because they passed it and are on their way now to us.
You better hope it's a Star Destroyer. I hope it's that clean. I really do.
Anything, I don't, whatever big enough to black out a star, I don't we want to think about what it is. But
This shit could be something nasty. Ooh, zone of avoidance.
is this similar to what you meant? What'd you say?
I said the Great
The
Filter.
veil, the great filter.
The zone of avoidance, a mysterious region in the sky where the Milky Way blocks our view, hiding countless unknown galaxies and cosmic secrets from our eyes.
I appreciate your sketch. Thank
Oh, that's kind of tough. I like that. I'm not sure if I agree with that theory, but that's pretty dope.
Isn't
It's
that
I guess
similar
it's a
to
thing.
one of the slides you showed earlier?
The Orc cloud, right?
you. Yeah,
That
yeah,
one.
yes. So that one was it's blocking us. Yeah, zone of void, and this again, my belief that we can't see entirely what the universe is. This one's cool.
The Helix Nebula's eye, often referred to as the eye of God, stares ominously back at us from deep space with a shape eerily resembling a human eye. Funnily enough, this might be the inspiration for the Eye of Terror in Warhammer 40K.
That said, what do you think? You think this inspired something too?
Yo,
Yeah.
the Hand of God Nebula, a nebula resembling a colossal ghostly hand reaching out into space, leading to eerie interpretations and fears of divine or alien presence.
AKA Galactus. Like what in like we don't understand what is making these lights, what are making why this is, because to me that looks like it's tearing a hole in the universe.
It does. It does. I would be the Silver Surfer. I would offer myself up as sacrifice for the Earth.
A second, just to not be in. Okay.
No, no, not the job. I would become the Silver Surfer.
Oh, a herald to Galactus. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm not finna die for y'all motherfuckers. I'm really not. Like, I'm cool with Penguin and Saint, but like I don't know some of y'all, so but I would definitely become the Silver Surfer for you. I would spin for y'all. I'll say
I,
that.
I appreciate it. Real quick, um, explain that. If what you were mentioning about that filter was different, explain what that filter is. What's it
um, so
called?
so the Great Filter is a concept of basically what is keeping us from getting out into the universe, right? So it could be technology. There could be some great predator out in the universe. It could be that every other civilization reached our certain point and then died, but nothing else around us has kind of reached that point. And the Great Filter just a theory is to come up with like why we haven't
Uh, uh,
and why
I'm
nothing
reading.
has visited us.
I'm reading. Yeah, I'm reading here too, because what they're saying is a great filter would apply to any civilization in the
Hmm.
universe that before it gets to a point where it can achieve space travel, either that civilization dies, something wipes that civilization out before it gets to the point of space travel.
Yep.
So
I think it's part of the Fermi paradox. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, well, I'm good to know that we straight. The closest we got right now, people taking commercial flights. Wait, SpaceX actually done a actual flight?
As far as I know, they've launched a rocket, but during the
Kiss his
eclipse,
teeth.
people were taking flights to see the eclipse like a front row seat. I was in Texas at the time, and I actually got to see one of them.
We got no superpowers from being out there in the eclipse or nothing yet.
Not yet. I'm still waiting. It's only been a few months though, so
Yeah, okay, man. I keep seeing shit everywhere about us supposed to be getting superpowers. That's another thing that the world can't handle, but that's another
oh,
conversation for
definitely
another
not.
time or whatever.
Definitely not.
That said, we appreciate you all taking the time to listen to this. We appreciate Manic Penguin for stopping by, hanging out with us, talking about aliens. We're going to have her on again. We'll talk about something, I'm sure. Appreciate her coming. Appreciate you all listening and taking the time to make it all the way through this. Tell us what you feel or what you think about aliens. We are just bullying at gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter. Everything will be down in the description. And again,
Don't
sketch as
forget to have
always.
fun.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye, guys.